What's going on, traders? Yes, it isn't the day that I think a lot of you guys were expecting, but that's how the market loves to work. We talk about it all the time on this show. Psychology sometimes just comes into play. And it seems like today is exactly that type of day. Of course, we'll find out all about it right here on Start Swing Trade. We'll go through the rotation and why I've been talking about bank concerns coming in. And wouldn't you know it, there's the S&P Global coming in and downgrading today. The banks getting hit today. Everybody's eyes just focused on Nvidia and tech this morning. But you guys know your boy Money Mitch was focused on the banks and was trying to point out that this could be a big red flag here. Let's talk all about it. Let's take a look at what's going on in the markets right now. As you guys can take a look here on the SPY now down to 437.91s. Big takedown from this morning. And I remember when everybody coming in this morning and just Nvidia. I felt like that was a little bit of a blow off top there towards the 480s. And look at that smack right back down towards the 455. Does this mean that Nvidia is completely done? Does it mean that their earnings is already out? No. It just means to show us that, hey, it's not going to be one way in this market. Today, what came into concern? Well, just look at the bottom of this, like I always do. What's the weakest sector today? It's financial services, and it's been weak for some time now and really getting hit another leg here. So this is where I'm really calling the concern from because you can see it in the KRE. We've been talking about that head and shoulders since when? We've been talking about this since now, and my lines will tell you guys, like always, right? Was created on 8/10. So it took what? 12 days pretty much for everybody to start talking about the banks coming down. When you guys get it in advance, right here, 10 days in advance. Well, that's not too bad, right? Well, my thing here is not always to give you guys the best trades, but to draw the flags. Where should we go looking? Where is the money rotating to? And of course, what was hot and what was not today? Let's get into the action. We could talk about my swing trades. Believe it or not, I have two trades. They're in the red, but we can talk a little bit more about that action, right? We can just really quickly. I have American Airlines coming down back below the 15s. Got this at 14.96. It's at 14.85 right now. I'm looking to see if we can hold the move towards the 14s, maybe 14.50, maybe add in that spot towards 14. Try to get in between 15 and 14, as I feel like this is a good spot to be in American Airlines. Now, of course, we can take a look at some other stocks, but just really quickly, WFG pulling back today. Definitely don't want to see this break 75. I'm in this at 76.88. If it breaks 75s, I'm out. I'm going to look for this to try to get back up above the highs that we had on Monday, 78.17. If we could get back to the 80 spot, we'll be looking good in West Fraser Timber. We'll see what happens there. Smash the like now to catch up with you guys a little bit in the chat. Then we'll go into a little bit more action on the banking situation. So how we doing out there, Kevin? It's good to see you guys. DeSoto, what's going on out there? Hit the like. Raz knows where he's at. Don't miss Bloomberg talking about shrinkage. Man, I'm on the floor. Yeah, you guys know how it is, man. They're always late to the party. That's what I say. Should I change my name to Money Mick and challenge Mitch to a trading competition? Well, we all know Tiny Pie. Unfortunately, you'd lose that one. There's a reason why they call me Money Mitch. And you know where I'm at. You know where you can find me. All right, let's keep going, team. Let's take a look at what else is going on. Rachel bringing in, I'm long, Pack W, and Wall. And that's the problem, though, is that you're getting the insights from these rating industries. Yes, these regional banks could go up, but with prolonged interest rates and what was mentioned this morning, right? And I can give you guys a quick little wrap up, was a lot of it was what? Decreased profitability, danger in areas where there's brokered deposits, also danger in area where you're seeing significant deposit outflows and prevailing higher interest rates. Also talking about the negatives in commercial real estate. There's some trouble that could be coming along the line. And the prolonged interest rate is going to do what? Yes, it's going to hurt. And where's it going to hurt the most? To the regional banks, not the global banks. I still think the global banks will be able to hold on here, but it isn't looking good there either. Let's take a look at those price action. And you're talking about PAC W and Wall, and these are the exact ones that personally I'm a little worried about. So I'm not telling you to run the other way, Rachel, but I'm at least saying that I am running the other way. It's up to you to make your investment decisions. But I'll tell you right now, this is a scary chart for me because it's right back down. And WAL was right up there. And I even drew this line as this is what I was expecting to happen, right? I drew this line on 810, created it, right? That's what I like to do, guys. I like to show you guys what I am expecting in the future. And here you guys see it, wall coming down from that. And I drew that, what? We're talking 12 days ago. So there you guys see it. The leak has really started. Now the only question is, will we lose another regional bank? I think that's the question you need to be asking yourself. That's what we were talking about last week. Now we'll see if it comes to roost, right? And I think that we'll keep an eye out, right? Because we don't know which one it's going to be. I'm not saying it's going to be necessarily these two, but I'm saying there's a lot of worry out there. And with that being mentioned, I'm staying away from the financial area. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action. We can definitely take a look at technology taking a major hit today. And we could take a look also at Apple. Don't worry, we'll take a look at what's going on in the space. But what do you see today? And you see a move back above the 9 EMA and then quickly back below. This could have just been bounced back on the Qs as we were oversold to the bottom and now can make our way back to the downside action. And this just goes to show us that, hey, if Nvidia cannot come in and do what, guys? You guys know what I'm talking about. If Nvidia cannot come in and show me the money, show me some actual revenue here from AI, this could easily be going further down. And I think that the big concern there would be that the AI bubble would officially, I think, pop if Nvidia doesn't give us those revenue numbers. Now, if Nvidia gives us some, awesome AI numbers, then yeah, this AI bubble could get a new lift and just keep pushing because the banks are going to drag, but it's going to take a lot. It's going to take technology trade turning around and also taking a hit with the banks coming down. And yeah, we could be potentially right back down to a little bit further down, maybe back down towards the 350 area on the Qs where we can get, that full correction, right? Are we going to get the 10%? 10% down near towards that 350 area is what I'm looking for in the Qs. So we'll see if we get back down to that 350 area, but it's something to look out for. All right, let's keep going, team. We can take a look at some of the stocks. Of course, today we saw Nvidia go right back down there, and it's back down towards the 455s. And just goes to show you how wicked Nvidia can be, how hard of a trade it could also be. So I'm going to leave that one alone. I was talking about SOXS this morning on live trading, and that did really well from the open. I mean, look at that. Nice little breakthrough 10, pull back to 1005. And then just kept going. Now towards 1060s. This is probably where I would be taking my money and run, but not a bad looking trade here at all. All right, we can take a look at what stocks were hot and what were not, but I can tell you at least from the sectors, utilities pushing up a little bit after really getting hit lately. This is nothing that I really want to focus on right now. Healthcare names I was focusing on earlier in the day. I even went to try to play a medical name, MDT. Wasn't able to get a gain on this one, but hey, it's how it goes sometimes. We'll see what happens on MDT. No position anymore, but this one did report. It was trying to make its move up there above 84.50s and a quick rejection here on that 84 attempt that it did right now. So not looking the best either. We'll see if these can keep moving. DXCM, a little bit better. Dexcom, I like this one. And Abbott Labs with a decent move here. But we got to keep an eye on it to see if healthcare overall can stay hot. As of late, it did bounce a little bit, but will it just pull back? And I think that you're seeing today healthcare plans, medical distribution pull back quickly. You got to be careful in a case like that. Look at this UNH. When this turns around, it hasn't been pretty. And so you can see it here in certain other stocks. CVS, watch out, guys. Remember this one got hit big. And there's some more concern in healthcare plans that there's going to be some more dropping here. And so ELV is one that I'd even be scared about. This is one that the chart looks good, but if it can't get back above that 480s, it could easily just drop into the gap zone and back into the 450s. We'll see what happens there on Elviance Health. All right, let's keep going out of the healthcare sector. We can keep moving real estate, getting a little bit of a bounce. Nothing that I'm really focusing on there. Let's go to the defensive area. As you're seeing, pharmaceutical retailers get a little bounce today. Walgreens, Boots Alliance, a little bit of a push up. Nothing that I'm focusing on there. Let's go to the real area that I was looking at today. Discount stores. I was like, man, are some of these going to get the lift today? I was really looking at BJ Wholesales, right? We were looking for it to make a move to 70. It eventually filled that gap, but then came right back down. And I think this is very important. We drew this on when? We drew it on July 5th, updated it on July 20th. Eventually, it filled that gap, but it's right back down into it. So I was wondering today if it was going to be able to get the bounce and go back towards the 70s, and it failed pretty significantly there. And Walmart also getting back to the red, Costco getting back into the red. And I remember when we were looking at Costco to trade it on that Walmart day, and that was when it was breaking this 560. Just that trade alone, guys, from of course, that was Thursday last week. That has already been a nice little 3-4% trade to the downside there on Costco. We'll see if Costco can get the bounce, but it could be all the way back down towards 520s, 510s. That's why I don't feel too confident about Walmart, and I wouldn't feel too confident about Target. Look at that smackdown today in Target. Everybody that thought this was coming back, well, you just got smacked. That's how it can go. All right, let's keep going, team. We'll see what else is going on. Let's keep looking for some more trades, and let me know if you guys caught something in your attention today. I'll keep going through the different areas of the market. Basic materials is an area that I was looking at for coal plates today. BTU getting a little bit of a bounce, but back into the red. It's really going to go ahead and just stick. It seems like AMR is way better trade, right? And you guys can see here, AMR just lifting out the gates here towards 196. AMR now almost towards 200. Recently has just been breaking out, but yet BTU can't get going. CEIX, though, that one's broken out and continued to run. So that just goes to show me that you got to be careful picking your coal players here. Some of these are getting the lift. Some of these aren't. So be careful there and don't get caught. All right. Aluminum getting a little bit of a lift. Steel getting a little bit of a push. Of course, we've been keeping our eyes on X. That's continuing to lift higher. Cleveland Cliff bouncing a little bit. Steel Dynamics. This isn't really a trend move I'm seeing right now, but I will keep a watch on Nucor. If Nucor can break above 173s, then maybe I can keep an eye out on the steel play. Nothing that excites me right now. And then industrials also pulling back. I was looking, are we ever going to get that sideways period in Deere? And it's coming down fast. Deere is almost now down to a historical RSI. And I think that that's what we need to be watching it for. We can still do like maybe one more or two more cut downs. I'm looking for a cut down towards like kind of the 18s and 16s on Deere. And then maybe we see a quick turnaround in the Deere trade. I will keep watch on this one. This is definitely one that I want to catch on the turnaround. But for right now, this tells me that watch out for CAT, because CAT could be filling in this gap and coming to 260. So I drew this before on August 4th. Would we fill that gap? It looks like we're starting to fill that gap here. And you can see it come right back down into the 260 to 50 moving average. Doesn't look too bad for a retracement into that space. So I can maybe look for short-term shorts on CAT, middle term or longer term longs on Deere if they can get down to those levels. We'll see what happens. All right, I can definitely do Ultra Chart and Boeing. Save those for just a little bit here. I got you guys. We'll definitely do some ticker time. All right, that's industrial space. Of course, I've also talked about how I want to keep my eye on Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin having a second green day, and I want to keep an eye on this because I keep seeing more and more military packages. So this doesn't look too bad for me off the 450s. Today, you went to 449, the weekly holding that. On the daily, you only went to 449.97 today. So holding the 450s. Yesterday, you held it right on the dot there, 449. So it seems like someone's going off of that 450. And we'll see if Lockheed Martin can make its way back. NOC is another one that I'm seeing starting to get a little bit of a lift. This one's pulled back for a while. who knows? Maybe it starts to get moving here on the monthly support around 434s. Just needs to hold around there. All right, that's of course defensive. Those are in the industrial space. We can keep moving to areas that did pull back today. Energy getting a little bit of a pullback today. XOM down a pretty good amount. I mean, it's not a massive breakdown, but didn't get the breakout that I'm sure a lot of traders were looking for. Why did that happen? Well, look at WTI, guys. It's back to 80.25. You guys know I've been calling out 82 on WTI. So that's the area that I want to see WTI get back above. If it gets into the 70s, I think this trade could easily come right back down. So we'll see what happens on that one if XOM starts to break. Lockheed Martin might see some love depending on the new budget. Yeah, it could be also getting some love depending on that new budget. I mean, just look at the pure amount of military packages that have been going out. I don't see these slowing down anytime soon. So just a recent package that wasn't covered by many media was the package to Australia that caught my attention. All right, let's keep going. We could take a look outside of the energy space. We've talked about some technology names, but I'm going to leave some time here for you guys to run the show also. Let's go to Ulta. Ulta's pulling back there to 430s. Oof. Not what you want to see there as Ulta starts to come down. And this seems like it's starting to break a trend. This is not what you want to see, right? This is one of the strongest retail names out there. And if this name is going to struggle, well, then I really feel bad about retail coming up. And is this telling us what's coming forward, right? Are we starting to see recession concerns starting to show up in retail? And this is an area that we definitely want to keep an eye out for. I'm starting to see that downside action. And then what do I see? I see here, and I go to my industries, and I look at what's getting hit, right? Well, the leading to the downside today, specialty retail, big part of that. Starting to see that turn around. That could affect different stocks. PDD down big today. Amazon down. Ulta down, right? SE down big. Best Buy just plummeted today. Plummets. That's not what you want to see, guys. I think this is telling us a little bit of something that recession could be right around the corner. So keep your eyes on this. This is not what you want to see. Look at Dick's Sporting Goods. Man, did they pound that today. Chewy's been going down significantly. 5 below looks like it wants to just break. I mean, these look like stocks to maybe even go shorting on these opportunities. So I'm definitely going to keep this one on watch. One that I thought maybe go down on that report was Hibbett Sports. Look at that. Starting to keep coming down. And Academy, right? Academy could be coming down a little bit further. We'll see what happens on that one. That's what was Academy's ticker? I always get this one. ASO. Will this one start to break down? Look at that. Oh, man. It isn't looking good here, guys. And department stores, not looking better either. Look how Macy's just gets plummeted today. Kohl's back down. If anything, this feels like a short to me. It just goes to show me, guys, that I don't trust these department stores at all. And in the long run, I think they're just slowly going to leak out and disappear. I don't know how Dillard's is still $330 something. Little part of me feels like shorting this so badly, but you know how it happens, guys. You don't want to short long-term trends like this until they break. So for me, if it breaks 300, then yeah, maybe I could take a look at it. But right now, I'm not going to short Dillard's. That's asking for it. But still, it all feels like it's going to come right back down. MJ, the recession talk is all fear mongering. It's all about the stupid rate decision by the media today. I highly doubt that, MJ. I don't think this is fear mongering. I mean, just look at what happened in retail today, right? I mean, that's a pretty significant hit there on Dick's Sporting Goods. So I don't think it has anything to do with the rate discussion by the media today. That's not why stocks are down. Of course, they're going to heighten now the S&P Global ratings today because, of course, now it's taken down the market. So they're going to talk a lot more about it. But I think this has more to do with the AI bubble popping a little bit. You're also seeing some slowdown, credit crunch coming in. And eventually, the consumer is going to slow down, guys. It just seems like it's starting to show up right now. All right, let's keep going. And that's due to online shopping. All right, I agree with you. But the main thing is, I mean, Amazon had a really good report. It's gone nowhere since that report. It was a really good report on Amazon. It's gone nowhere since then. So that's another thing to kind of note. Now, am I saying that you're wrong, MJ? No, by no means necessary. But I think we need to try to focus, right? How does the market look forward, right? Or what's it going to look forward to? A part of me is already saying that, hey, I'm seeing that the market might start focusing on recession concerns. Am I saying that it's coming? Hey, we have to actually see the data match the actual price action. So the price action is showing me that now. All right, let's keep going. And like I said, that's what it's all about, right? That's why it's a market. We can always talk about it. All right, let's take a look at some other stocks in the market here. Raz wanted to take a look at Apple. It's 353. We still got a little bit of time. We can definitely take a look at some different stocks here. So keep throwing them up, team. Apple's starting to make its way back here. A little part of me always looks at the 50% retracement. That was right on the dot where it bounced. Now you're back to the 9 EMA. And this is where I'd be careful because you could be using this as resistance until the price action really recovers 9 EMA. That's when I start to look for, okay, we can have a nice sustained rally. So that's a close above the 9 EMA today, 177.47. We're at 177.32 and starting to fall off there. So if we can just close above here towards like 177.50s, this could easily just have another good day tomorrow. So even though, Nvidia's pulled back, I'm not saying that Nvidia is just going to get crushed. But what I am saying is if the banking concerns continue and Nvidia can't save the day, that's when you got to really be careful because it could come all tumbling down pretty fast. All right, let's keep looking. Mitch, what stocks are correlated with Nvidia? Well, you got a whole bunch of different stocks, Wally. We can definitely focus on that. And I always like focusing on relationships, just like Dennis Dick, right? I think it's very important. What are the type of stocks? Well, AMD, a perfect example, turning right back to the downside. So Nvidia, definitely going to affect a stock like AMD. It's going to affect a stock like even Microsoft, man. A big name like Microsoft, right? Just because so many people are focused on the AI revenue and from these outlook, you're going to see Micron, you're going to see Intel, you're going to see all these companies kind of move off of this. Even a company like Marvell can move off of this. So just keep your eyes on the semiconductors overall. Nvidia is the poster child. It's the one that's supposed to kill it in AI revenue. That's what we need to look for. Not AI mentions. I could care less if they say AI 3,000 times. The only thing that matters to me is show me the money. The money will do the talking. The actual revenue that you're making from AI is going to be vital to keep this rally going. All right, we'll see what else is going out there. No one has inside information on Nvidia. Yeah, man, trust me. If I knew what those earnings were, I'd let you guys know. All right, and another thing to do is if you're looking for stocks that are correlated like that, there's plenty of services that can help you, Wally, actually give you the actual statistics like is it 85.85 correlated to Nvidia? Things like this are important. What if Nvidia's revenues and earnings smash regardless of AI speak? They normally always smash earnings. That's a good mention, Marty. What if it's kind of like a little bit of a mix signal, right? If they beat on EPS, they beat on revenue, but then also state that AI revenue is slowly going to trickle in. I think that also takes a hit to the downside because the expansion that we're seeing in Nvidia, the outlook of the future earnings are so high that I think this bar is set really high. Like we're talking, 12 feet rim kind of high, not even a 10-foot rim. We're talking a little bit higher. I don't know about you guys. I could reach a 10-foot rim. I can't reach a 12. And so I would tell you guys right now, to me, I'm just more worried about what comes with this report. Do I want to bet any which way? No, that doesn't seem smart to me. Unless I know which way it's going to happen, I'm not going to bet on it, but I'm going to be watching And I'm going to be really looking into that report to see if they mention actual revenue numbers. If it's just talk of products, if it's just talks that this chip is in demand, that's not going to be enough for me. All right, we'll see what else is going on. And like always, we got to just keep our watch to see what happens in Nvidia tomorrow. It could be right back up to 475. That's how this market likes to do, likes to hurt the most. And lately, it's definitely has expanded on the average true range. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action in the market before we wrap up the day. I definitely wanted to point to a little bit of the AMC move. And man, I'm just glad that I've been on both sides. At one point, I actually was looking for AMC to make an up move, and I could clearly see it. It just keeps getting hit, guys, and it just doesn't look good there. Ape also pulling back there today. It's just something I don't want anything to do of today. And so you guys can see it here. I'll show you guys AMC and Ape. It just doesn't look good, team. Be careful with names like that. Nothing that I want to touch, right? Para, another name that I don't want to touch, right? These streaming services, I think, are going to struggle for a little while now. Disney, also a name I don't want anything to do with. I think this could go lower also. Why? Because I think we're running more and more into finally with the consumer starting to slow down. And if the consumer starts to slow down now, what's going to happen going into Q4? Q4 is supposed to be that nice sweet spot, right? It's supposed to get a lot of sales. You got Black Friday coming up. Doesn't look good. Zoom right back down today. It tried to make the move up in the pre-market. After hours, it spiked all the way to 74.43s. Then an opening action flushed down there towards the 64s. And this looks like it could easily come right back down. So we'll see what happens there on Zoom. Doesn't look good there. Unity still pulling back there. And I think that these stocks are clear examples that like Unity is a decent metaverse play. I'm not even going to call it an AI play. Everybody wants to call this an AI play. I call it more of a metaverse play. And the reason why is their platform, right? We could talk about that all day. But Unity overall, I think, is going to be a perfect example of a stock that could have the lift from AI, but could also pull back all the way to the 30, could pull back all the way to that 28 before we get another round. We'll see what happens to these names. Retail needs to learn how to trade, says Julie. Yeah. Well, retail. If you want to teach them, Julie, you can come on if you want. I'll let you on the show if you want to teach them. If you think you could do a pretty good job of that, hey, the platform's yours. All right, let's keep going. We're going to wrap it up. It's 4 p.m. The market is done today. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow, of course. It was a red day today, and a lot of that on the financials, right? I think that that's what really dragged us down today. And I was wondering this morning, would the banks take us down? Because I did see that S&P Global mention, and there you guys have it, a nice little takedown. Remember, one way that you could be playing this in the intraday for kind of the rent, as I like to call it, where you just play it in the intraday and sell it, is FAZ, the financial bear 3 times leverage. You got to be careful when you're playing that, of course, because it is leverage. But hey, if the money's there, the money's there. And you're right. Ding, ding, ding is right, mystery man. We're going to wrap it up here. I hope that you guys are enjoying on the outlook. Are you kidding? Halloween and Christmas is coming to Disney? Yeah. The problem is, will we be in recession concerns by then? I don't know. I don't like Disney at all here. And a big part of that is I think they're going to start losing subscribers versus making them. We'll see what happens. Like always, that's what it's all about right here on Start Swing Trade. And I appreciate you guys dropping some opinions today. That's what it's about, man. If you guys are on the other side of the coin, guess what? There's always a long and there's always a short in the market. Hit the like if you guys enjoyed today's Start Swing Trade. Always here to discover where the money is going to, what was hot and what was not. And of course, take a look at my trading action. Hope you guys enjoyed it today. I'll see you bright and early on Pre-Market Prep.